within the lines of 2 degrees and 9 to 5. And I've been working after work since last September. Working after work, yeah. I stay up late on the weekdays. I never tell when we say. I never wanna look back and wish I could have been. I've never got no regret. The hours I've been putting in, so take a chance on faith. Your mind's a bonus, please. So take a chance, a chance on faith. So take a chance on faith. So take a chance. I never wanna look back. Take a chance on faith. Take a chance on faith. I could have been. I've never got no regret. The hours I've been putting in, so take a chance on faith. Your mind's a bonus, please. So take a chance, a chance on faith. So take a chance on faith. So take a chance. I never wanna look back. Take a chance. Take a chance on faith. So take a chance. Take a chance on faith. I never wanna look back. Take a chance on faith. So take a chance. Take a chance on faith.
Hey folks, how's it going? A little different today. We're just doing a little impromptu streamy thing here. Nothing crazy. Let's see. Need to add a different source here. Hang on one second. This is not a scene I normally use. It doesn't have all my fun little overlays and whatnot. I was just gonna do this, but I figured I might as well start up the camera. Oh, I don't see it here. What the hell's going on? OBS is such a pain in the butt sometimes. There. There we go. All right. So, what I got behind me is the Voron 2.4. Community choice was green for the accent parts. It was a good choice. I think it looks really good. This kit was a FormBot kit. Everything was super nice in it. Good hardware. The wire harnesses were pre-made. The build plate is machined cast aluminum, which very nice. I think the only thing I'd say I'd do different is the heater pad was just a little bit smaller than the plate, so about like an inch and a half border around everything. Read Noel, I don't know what the heck you're saying. Could you know open VTX can update firmware same configuration as OpenTX. Sorry, man. I'm not following you. Sorry, Mike. Yeah. Sorry about that. But let's we're gonna give this thing a shot. I just don't know what to print first. Should I just go with the old standard benchy or do the Voron cube? Oh, dog. I think maybe benchy might be the way to go. Yeah, I think it'll be just fine. It's gonna be a little cooler on the edges, but I don't think it's enough to make a difference. Okay. This little dog. She likes to lick faces. Benchy. Mike says benchy. All right. Maybe we'll do benchy. All right, going. Dogs. It gets dark out and the dogs go nuts for some reason. All right, let's do benchy. There's a benchy. All right, I've already built up a profile for the Voron. We're gonna go straight to ABS. I'm not gonna mess around with PLA or any of that fun stuff. We'll just go right into ABS. Hey man, how's it going? So there's a benchy. I don't know what happened to my build plate background. Must have deleted that. Like an idiot. Let's see. Store. Let's try it again. There it is. Looks a lot better. All right, benchy time. All right. So this thing basically it runs mostly through Octoprint. At least that's how I have mine set up. But I'm using pretty conservative settings. I'm not going for a crazy fast benchy. Maybe I'll do perimeter, 2 perimeters, 2 4 bottom, 5 top. 0.2 millimeter layers. Infill 40%. I'm gonna go down to like 15. No, use fluid. No, I'm not using fluid, Joe. It took a lot to just get Octoprint working. But there are things about fluid I do like. Fluid's a different interface, kind of like Octoprint. Let's see, speeds. These seem pretty conservative. Yeah, we'll just do that. Hey, Mike Bergman, how's it going? Wait, you've been here. Sorry. June Loco, how you doing, man? Robert Ortleb, how you doing? We are building stuff out of plastic. Just finished a Voron build. This guy here. I'm gonna go and give it a run. All right. Slice. Joel, why fluid? What's fluid do that Octoprint doesn't do? Really, the only reason why I'm using Octoprint is just because it's what I'm used to. So that's what I'm running on the Prusa. Sorry, Mike. All right. Quad benchy. Someone should make a quad benchy. All right. So we do that, and then come over to Octoprint. Guess I probably should have got this thing preheated before we started. Oh well. Let's see. Sort by upload date. There we go. All right. Now, I don't know if you can hear that in the background. This printer is loud. It is loud. Bet you would be good for turtle mode. It would be good for turtle mode. So Voron's pretty cool. Well, not so much Voron, but running Klipper. It's a very different interface than what I'm used to with like Marlin. The display on there is something I added on. The original display is pretty nice. I left all the ribbon cables in there. For the time being, I'll probably just route the cables out the side and leave the original display hooked up. It seems like whenever you do a touchscreen display, you lose some sort of functionality. It's never a perfect one-to-one thing. It's kind of weird. I use Octoprint. Fluid has buttons and macros you add, which is nice. It's made specifically for Klipper. Yeah, that's the one thing I saw about Fluid that I do like is just the buttons. It does it does work with this touchscreen a little bit better than what is this thing I'm using? Octodash. But I'm used to Octoprint, because that's what I've been using on my Prusa forever. Is Klipper easier to configure than Marlin? Yeah, way easier. If you want to configure, like change something on your configuration, just boom, open Klipper. Here's your entire configuration file. You add something to it, hit save, it reboots the firmware, and your setting is changed. But it works off macros. So instead of doing like G28, G29, like G28 for doing XY level or homing, and then G29 for doing Z or not Z, but like mesh bed leveling, you do macro. So the macro print start is going to do this LED command, home the axes, move the nozzle away. Then the next one's going to do, or it's going to do G32. G32 is this macro. It's going to do mesh bed level, quad gantry level, things like that. So it's way different than Marlin. Marlin's kind of like you have to recompile it in Arduino IDE and then reflash it every time. Obviously, got to reflash every time, but this just seems to be. This is definitely a lot easier. It's a lot faster. Like if you make a little mistake in Marlin, it's like, well, all right, I have to reconnect to it, reflash it. Yeah. But I've gone through. I've done everything I need to do. I've done all the PID tuning for the bed, for the heater. Made Made sure all the functions work. Make sure the mesh bed leveling, or not the mesh bed leveling, but the quad gantry leveling works. The extruder works. Everything works. Everything's working the way it is. I added a purge line to my config, so one of my start parts here. So when you do your custom G code, and I'm used to using Prusa Slicer. The other one I've used a lot was Simplified 3D, but nobody really uses that anymore. So we do print start. It does the print start. The print start macro, which I said was turns the LEDs on. Runs G32, which is the bed leveling, the gantry leveling. Moves the thing away, changes the LEDs. And then the next one is going to be purge blob. So what this will do is it'll call up the purge blob macro. So it's going to change LEDs, zero the extruder. It's going to move it to the front middle of the bed, and it's going to put down a blob, just a little blob of filament. Slowly pull the nozzle away while it's cooling it. Drop it down, pull it back out, and then rehome. Just to kind of, I don't like using a skirt for like a purge line. This tends to work really well. It's kind of like what I do with the Prusa, but a little bit different. Oh, I ticked off the printer. This bed does take a long time to heat up. It is super thick, like thick. That bed is, jeez, gotta be at least a 1/4 inch thick, if not more. 3/8. Yeah, it sounds like fluid's kind of the same thing, just laid out a little bit different. Yeah, configuring through Octoprint, you can't really do that. You'd have to do that through, I assume you're doing Marlin. But the reason you can do it through Octoprint is just because it's Klipper. So the main board with the drivers on it and all that stuff, all that does is just moves the moves the axes. It doesn't do any real processing. All the processing and interpretation is all done on the Raspberry Pi. So I haven't set up input shaping or anything like that yet. So we'll see what we can get out of just a base configuration. Let's see. Solid aluminum plate. Yes, solid aluminum plate. It is. Yeah, it's a mains powered heated bed. It using 120 volts. This kit included like a name brand solid state relay, Meanwell power supplies, moon stepper motors, pre-made harnesses. All the hardware is stainless instead of just black oxide coated. So good stuff. Let's see. Does tend to creak a little bit as it gets hot. $7,000 acceleration with no ghosting on it. 3. Damn. Yeah. Okay. Input shaping. Yeah, I still haven't done that. Did you do your input shaping with an accelerometer, or did you just Or did you just do it by measuring it with a set of calipers? See if I get the same print. She's still warming up. It's almost there. And I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but this printer is loud. There's a lot of fans, and they are big fans. All the homing is done with inductive probes for the X and the Y. The Z is like a little clicky switch. It's doing the quad gantry leveling. If you watch real close, you might actually see one of the 4 corners lift or lower after this next set of probing here. Maybe not. Must be pretty close. It's all done inductive probing. I kind of would have preferred a PL Touch, just because then you can use different height and non-ferrous build plates. Like if you're going to use a sheet garolite for doing nylons. Yeah, the bed takes forever to heat up. So here's the blob. Like the purge line thing that I'm doing. Those LEDs are blue. It's kind of hard to see. And now it's bringing the hot end up to temperature. Hopefully. Well, it looks like the blob got stuck to the hot end. Yeah, I forgot to clean it too, so we'll see how this turns out. It may not work out well. There we go. This is what, an hour and 18-minute benchy? No, I can go faster than that. Yeah, definitely build yourself an enclosure. Borked really makes a big difference. Even with printing, you know, pretty easy materials like PLA and TPU, you'd be surprised how much just getting the drafts off of it helps. And these are pretty conservative print speeds. I mean, they're literally double that of my Prusa, but still, pretty conservative. This is kind of a comparison of what my normal print speeds are over here on the right. This is my, I'm not in a hurry, but I just do not want to fail print speeds. I know I can go faster on this, but this is just 100% reliable 100% of the time over here. And on the left, this is just my baseline for the Voron. Not tuned or set up or anything like that. That's just where I started. Finally watched Flow State at the Golden Gate something International Film Festival. Oh my goodness, was that totally worth every bit of my money and time. That was a very good documentary. Highly recommend it if you guys haven't seen it. I think you've got till tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the last day to view it. I wrote an Ender 3 and thought this was a speed up video. No, this is as fast as I've got it going right now. It can definitely go way more faster than this. Like I said, this is just first prints. So the build process was really, it was kind of a fun build. I mean, other than having to 3D print everything to be able to start, it wasn't a bad build. The only thing I really need to do now is I need to take the build plate off, and then the back center, I need to drill and tap a hole because it was missing the holes in the center for the switch, or for the fuse. Gonna watch tomorrow with your mom. Hopefully it works for you. I still know people that are having issues getting around or being able to view it because this community has just destroyed their streaming service. Normally they get maybe a couple hundred people that want to view a movie. In the first, like, I think it was just today they started actually screening it again because we just kept crushing their servers, whoever they're hosting it with. There we go. Bob Noxious, how you doing, man? Nothing crazy going on. Just first print. This is ABS as well. I put a vote on my Discord of what color to make the accent parts. I was really kind of hoping for blue. Y'all said green, so I went with the most like electric green I could find, and it totally paid off. It's a good looking printer. Probably hosting with MS-DOS. No, I think that would do better. Yeah, there definitely is an audience. If if it doesn't, I'm kind of curious what their end goal is. If it doesn't make it to Netflix, which I know that's what they want. If it doesn't, like, how long are they going to wait for it to get picked up by Netflix before they just say, you know what, screw it, we're just going to put this on YouTube and everybody have at it? You know, it was really good. It was really good. I got a shout out in it too, which was kind of cool. Wasn't expecting that. That's because you said you hate green. I know that's exactly why. I don't hate green. I just of the colors I preferred blue, and that meant I had to buy green. Start bumping up that speed multiplier. So, all right, that first let's see. Obviously, the first print is going decent. So let's feed rate modifier. Let's go 10%. Or is that? Or do I need to go 110%? That I don't know. Alright, screw it. Let's just go with 10, see what happens. Nope, I need to go 110%. That thing just came to a dead stop. There we go. $200%. Let's do 150 and send it. Yeah, it's weird. Like ABS, I'm printing ABS really fast, so do I need more airflow to cool it? But it'll warp. Honestly, it looks pretty good. Morton, how you doing? I just got here. We printing green ABS. Yes, we are printing ABS and green. This is first prints out of the Voron. And we're at, let's see, what was my base perimeters and speeds and all. So this was my base setup right here. 80 perimeter, 120 infill, 40 external perimeters. I don't know what the difference is. Travel 300. I've bumped it up to 150% right now. Things are looking pretty good. Build size is 350 by 350 by 350. Aphids. Brandon, how you doing? We are squirting plastic out of things with stuff. Is it the boat? It is the benchy boat. It is really droopy and melty when I printed it fast. Yeah, it's a weird conundrum there. Like, it's gotta cool so it doesn't get droopy, but if you cool it, then it gets weak. So, like, what's the answer? Let's see. Yeah, it's the benchmarking boat. It's called a benchy, Brandon. You bump up acceleration. When I bump up the feed rate, I think it bumps everything the same amount. So 150 is looking pretty good. We'll do 200. Let it rip. There's some perimeters. Now it's still gonna be limited by the minimum layer time that's set in the the slicer. So, but she's printing pretty quick right now. I've got the fan on full power. Linear speed is less important on small objects. 8th, yeah, it's a benchy. Yep. When I bump it up, everything goes up. I'll take a quick look at it. I don't see a change in print quality yet. That's at 200%. But like, have you seen those people doing like just stupid fast benchies? I think the last one I saw was 5 and some odd minutes, like 5.5, 6 minutes for a benchy. I printed this on my Prusa last night, out of ABS. I think it was a 4-hour print. Maybe it was a 2-hour print. 2.5 hours. And it didn't turn out very good at all. I mean, it's decent, but not great. That alone's enough to start looking at Octoprint. Yeah, you know, I used Octoprint on my Prusa and my Tivo Tarantula before this, and I liked it because I didn't have to shuffle SD cards around. And then I stopped using it. I just went back to using the SD card and walking it back and forth. The stack always turns out bad on benches. Yeah, that's one of the hard parts to cool, especially like doing ABS. But this one is going to be strictly Octoprint. There is a display right there. That's not the one that comes with it. That's one I added on. It's running Octo dashboard. She's just humming along there. Still looks pretty darn good. Did you reveal your total investment in this beast? Well, depends on what you consider that. Let's see. Let's go to... So this is the Voron kit. I bought it from 3D Printers Bay, but they end up buying it through Formbot. And when I was asking questions, they literally just forwarded me to Formbot. So don't buy through 3D Printer Bay, just buy it through Formbot. I did the 350 cubed with the Dragon High Flow hot end. That is what I have into it. Now, that's also saying that I already had a printer to get the 3D printed parts, so, you know, take that for what it's worth. I think you could buy the 3D printed parts off of, holy shit. All right, I have a new business idea. Look how much people are selling these 3D printed parts for. Oh my God. $200 through Etsy? You gotta be kidding me. Hey, all right. If you want 3D printed parts for your Voron, I will print them for you. For, I don't know, let's undercut the competition. How about 150 bucks? Jesus. So these guys are printing just the primary parts, just the stuff you need, so no skirting or any of the vanity stuff. Jeez, that is ridiculous. Oh. Well, here you go. The old AliExpress. 100 bucks, 110 bucks. You can get all the 3D printed parts you need. I do like how they zip tied them all together. That does make it easier. Mine were literally all in a box, so sorting through them was kind of a pain in the butt. But that's not bad. You know. I don't know how much to print it forward is. I think it's like 100 bucks. Let's see. So I only have whatever the kit cost into it. So take that for what it's worth. Let's see. Back to the comments here. Finally got some 6-inch UFL connectors for SharkBite. Nice. Oh, SharkBite. I got the new HD0 cameras. I got 2 of them in today. Really excited to try this out. Why is it so expensive? What's so expensive, Brandon? Yeah, about the same as a Mark III. Just I could literally fit a Mark III on the build plate of this thing. So the printer is made from 3D printers. Yeah, mostly. That's how most of them are. Like the Prusa, all the parts on it that you see that aren't made of metal are 3D printed out of PETG. Oh, no, Skynet is definitely, yeah, it's Skynet, basically. Yes, it is Skynet. I'm embracing my mechanical overlords. I'm here to fix them. So when you buy the Voron, isn't like I can go out and buy a Voron. They are companies out there that make printed kits, or they make kits. Basically, they just go and they bundle everything up for you before you you know. So it's a one-stop shop for all the screws, nuts, the build plate, all that stuff. The only thing they don't include are any of the 3D printed pieces, which on the Voron, it's a lot. There are a lot of 3D printed pieces, like all the skirting down here at the bottom, everything that you see, it's green. All the gantry parts, the things that hold the steppers, most of the hot end, all that stuff's all 3D printed. The exhaust is 3D printed. Even the stuff that mounts all the electronics to the DIN rail underneath it is all 3D printed. Hobby Gray, what's a decent, inexpensive printer that prints TPU? Well, they'll all print TPU. If you're looking for a printer that... It depends on what... So when you're looking for a printer, it depends on what you're looking for primarily. If what you want to print is TPU more than anything else, look for a printer that has a direct drive extruder. Probably, it seems to be everybody's kind of go-to is the Sova SVO1, because it is a direct drive. So that's half the battle right there, is you're starting with a direct drive extruder. It does have, I think it has a removable, flexible build plate. No, it's got like one of the flecked glass build plates, but that's fine. But yeah, if you're wanting to print flexibles, direct drive's kind of the way to go. You can do it with a Bowden setup. It works. It's just not as good. Yep, Borked, you have it right. That is the best 3D printer, is the one your friend has. I've always said that, and I still say it. Best 3D printer is the one your friend has. Kind of curious how this is going to end up printing with like flexibles and stuff. I mean, my Prusa has just a unreasonable amount of hours on it, and it never misses a beat. I took this picture maybe a month or two ago. It's definitely more than that. So 10,600 meters of filament have gone through this printer. A total print time of 523 days. Without skipping a beat. This thing has been incredibly reliable. It is going to be tough for another printer to replace this one. Mike Bergen says run a couple CR10 variations of the micro Swiss direct drive setups. Prints flexibles beautifully. Yeah, exactly. Like you can make any printer print flexibles easily, but it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to buy a CR10 and then upgrade parts on it to make it work? I don't know. What should I get that makes stuff to mount up to my drones for mounting antennas and cameras? I need to make small furniture, too, for always figurine collection. Oh, you're talking about printer? So a lot of people give me shit about when I say what printer to get, and my number one recommendation is a Prusa Mark III. They're expensive, I get it, I know, but they are literally pull them out of the box, put it together, and just go. There's no fucking around. There's no printing. There's no printing parts for your printer. There's no upgrading it. I mean, you can, but there isn't anything you need to do. The slicer is tuned very well to get you just going. There's no setup. It's just put it together, plug it in, feed it filament, and go. Is the Voron an okay first printer? I can't tell if I want to get small printer first. Like a Prusa Mini. I would get the Prusa Mini first. The Voron is not a beginner printer. I mean, there's a good community out there, but you need to know what you're doing. I would say it's the printer you get after you outgrow your Prusa. Hang on, go let the dogs in. Splinter linear rails. Yep, there are linear rails all over this thing. They're not genuine high wind because this thing would be, $2,000 for the kit, but they're all right. They're good enough for what they're gonna do. You're usually the failure point in your 3D printer. Yeah. Any replacement parts? No, not a single part. No, I haven't replaced any parts on it. I mean, I've replaced nozzles because they do wear out, but that's consumable. I've never greased a linear rail. I've never had it apart more than just fixing filament jams. Eric Allen, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, there's a lot of people saying, no, you can't print ABS on a Prusa, but I mean, this entire printer it's all been printed on the Prusa in ABS. And the only reason I went with the Voron is I have some things that I want to do that the build plate is just too small in the Prusa, but the Prusa is just a absolute workhorse of a printer. My first 3D printer was going to be the Monoprice Mini. I almost bought that, but instead I went with a Tevo Tarantula. That printer was a complete pile of shit, but I learned a ton about 3D printing. So this is my Prusa setup. I've got an MMU2 on the top. I don't know if you can see that right there. So I have 5 spools loaded up from left to right. I've got ABS, TPU, ABS, PET-G, and then in this thing, it's a TPU as well. And it just automatically loads whichever one I want. Or if this one runs out, it'll go to the next spool. This is really, really neat feature. It does add a lot of complexity to the printer. It does make it a bit more of a hassle and a headache to work with. But once you get it tuned and working right, Works great. Best part about this kit was pre-made wire harnesses. That was the part I was dreading. So when I emailed the company I bought the printer from, I'm like, hey, can I get some tracking? They're like, well, if you want to wait another couple weeks, we have a new kit coming out that has a better heat bed, it has better hardware, and it has pre-made wire harnesses. I was like, whoa, I am sold right there. I will wait as long as it takes. It only took 3 weeks to get the damn thing, so totally worth it. Now, the downside of this is it does make a awful mess because I can't, custom cut all the cables to length. There's a lot. There is a rat's nest underneath this thing. Luckily, there's a big piece of plexiglass that goes over it that you can't see anything. That box is just in there. We can see things were sliding around on the rails. But 24 volt power supply, a 12 volt power supply, a Raspberry Pi 3B. This is a Big Tree Tech Octopus 1.1 board. A Omron solid state relay, like a name brand thing. But like all the stuff came pre-wired, like this little jumper from the switch to the mains power, all that stuff. This was just in here to space it out. 2 big ass fans on the side. This printer's loud. Moon's stepper motors, good stepper motors. But it is awfully messy in there. But I could make it better if I wanted to. But I just closed a little door on it and called it a day. The back actually has hinges that hinge here, so the whole panel, you take these 4 screws out, and then the whole panel hinges out and out of the way. It's pretty nice. It's very well engineered. I really wish there was a large red Prusa. Yeah, people have been screaming for a larger Prusa, and what did they do? They came out with the Mini. Although, I really like the idea of the Mini. 90% of the things I print will fit on that Prusa Mini's bed, but the next Prusa needs to be a bigger platform, I think. This is just an idea, the headache of setting up Klipper. It's all Linux. So you do have to learn how to remote terminal and SSH into your Pi to actually do things, to set things up. So I mean, there's a definite PC component of it, like learning how to use a computer, if you in an advanced way if you're not used to it. Can't see it, doesn't matter. No, yeah, and it doesn't matter. No, it's like the backside of a computer. Like once that panel's on, and it doesn't matter. My first and only is Monoprice V2 with glass bed added, Prince Pet G TPU. I did wear any better. Yeah. It's not a bad printer. It's like that Prusa, or not the Prusa, but the TiVo Tarantula I started off with. It was a great printer. No, actually, it was a pile of crap. By the time I was done with it, it printed really, really well, but I literally doubled the price of the printer by all the stuff I upgraded on it. The only thing that was still original on that printer was the main board and the bed and the gantry. Yep, VNC viewer. Yeah, the Prusa Mini is a great first printer. I want to 3D print shoes. Don't 3D print shoes. I've seen people do it. It never works out well. Well, let's see. How's this print doing? So we're 30 minutes in, 50%. Yeah, even though I'm upping the speed, so this is 200% of my original speed, even though I'm upping the print speed, it's not making that much of a difference. just because it can't hit those max speeds. I think its original print time was going to be 1 hour and 27 minutes, so, you know, we shaved some time off of it. Not much, though. Yeah, I've seen people print tires and stuff. Yeah. I've seen people print tires for RC cars and things like that. There's a guy on YouTube, RC Life on, I think. He does some really neat stuff. Yeah, I'm sure it's one or the other, I'm sure. It's holding me back. I was considering doing the benchy at, like, you know, 4 times the size. Let's see. Yeah, slowed off layer print time is below 15 seconds. So, yeah, I'm sure I'm hitting the cooling threshold for the speed. But clearly all these numbers can definitely go way up. But that's for future prints. Let's see, I don't have anything large in mind. I need to print. Yeah. Are you talking about the Prusa Mini A? Seems to be going along all right. Morton, yes, this is the first. Just taking a look around all the sides of the benchy, it looks really good. It looks too good for going fast, so clearly we need to push the speed. Oh, getting hungry. It's about time to eat lunch. There's a project. There's a guy. He's Nero 3D, and he's working on an angry rabbit carrot feeder. It looks like the MMU2, just different. It'd be kind of cool to mess with. Let's see, Nick Hayes, no skirt, no nothing. Nope, no skirt. Oh yeah, that shit. Are you talking on the print or the printer? Man, my internet is bad. Why is my internet so damn bad here? What is making my internet garbage other than just living on the sticks? Let's see if we can resize this. There's the whole thing. I was thinking of putting a camera on it. Probably just like the Raspberry Pi camera. It's the same thing I use in my Prusa. Just, I don't really use it for doing like time lapses. It's just more or less a way to check on the print without actually going downstairs to look at it. Nope, it's definitely me. My internet here sucks. I'm the only one in the house. I don't know what the heck's consuming my bandwidth other than my internet being shit.
How do we get this low? You come over and we start a fight. Never know who's wrong or right. Feel nothing when you go. I know it's not intelligent, drinking for the hell of it, but that's irrelevant now. We should talk about us. How come we're holding on? 'Cause really I don't see the benefits now. And you've broken my trust, so I just wonder, why do I fall back to you? Really nothing I can do about it. Why do I fall back to you? It's like you're a drug to me, I can't quit. It's not like we're still 22, trying something new, just a pastime. I don't think that we ever could work this out. None of it makes sense, there's no reason why I still fall back to you.
Yeah, my internet sucks. And if I were to have them come out and take a look at it, they'd be like, ah, there's nothing wrong with it, because it only gets bad whenever I need it, you know. All right, let's push this thing a little bit more. Let's see, we're at 200. Let's do 250. It's probably not gonna make a difference. Yeah, it seems like I can keep cranking it up and it's not going to make a bit of difference. I have auto cooling enabled, and that's just going to change everything, make it not print the way I want it to. This is the hot end I use. This is the Dragon Fetus. It's basically like a Slice Engineering mosquito clone. This part, on the top, the E3D collet thing, that comes off. So it's literally just this piece here mounted to the top of the ductwork. But supposed to be a high flow hot end. It's the same heater cartridge and thermistor as the other hot ends that were available, so I don't know. So far so good. I do like that it's pinned at the bottom, so when you take the nozzle off, it doesn't. You don't have to worry about rotating the heat break or the heater block like you do on a normal V6. So that is a nice feature. Speed is in the settings, not the knob. I don't know what you're talking about. So you get an idea of the layer heights here. So if it's under 15 seconds, then it's being slowed down. Grunge JW, how you doing? Just caught that this was going on. Another Voron in the wild. Yep. Got another Voron going. It was a fun build. I think it's going to be a pretty good printer. It's going to complement the other two printers I have. So the other FDM is the Prusa Mark III. Then I've also got a resin printer, one of the Elogu Mars. I don't use it very often, just because it's a real pain in the ass to use. Just dealing with the resin and all that stuff, but it does work really well. It makes some really killer parts. But I use my printers basically only for like functional stuff. I hardly ever do anything ornamental, like benchy boats and figurines and things like that. Just got the AOS 5 race frame set down about an hour ago, put together. It came with the wrong parts. Awesome. Did it come with the special magical Chris Rosser, I'm gonna fix everything in the world, carbon fiber? I'm sure they will. Was it just the wrong hardware, or was it the wrong carbon fiber parts? What the fuck do you want? You wanna go back out again? Ugh, these dogs. Yeah, right. Everything is a sales pitch. Yeah. Speaking of sales pitch, there you go. Yeah. He has some really good points, and then there's other things where he is existing in a notebook and a calculator of a world, and yeah, you know, I did a lot of 3D printing stuff. I had 2 printers, and they were going nonstop, and then like I stopped printing altogether for like the longest time. I want to get into cutting more stuff on the Shapeoko, doing a lot of CNC cutting of carbon fiber, but I want to, like, I get these frames that have like chamfered edges on them, and I want to know how the hell they're doing that. Like, I get it that you can use a V-bit and chamfer, but that's only a chamfer one side of the sheet. I don't know if they're using a jig to flip the part and chamfer the other side. Are they chamfering before they cut through, or is the chamfer bit what is cutting through? These are things that I want to know how they do that. I know it adds a lot of time and complexity and cost to the job, but it's kind of what I want to know. It is a cooperative effort of creatives and scientists that made America great. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I see a stifling of innovation going on in this country. People can't be allowed to do the things that they need to do to get shit done anymore. It's too much red tape. That's what I kind of figured. It's got to be a jig. I don't know how repeatable my yeah, use of V-bit to do it. So I assume you do the cutout, jig it up, then run the V-bit, flip it, run the V-bit. I'm assuming, so it's a 3-step process. I don't know how repeatable the Shapeoko would be to like cut, move, flip, cut again, and be on point. Shapeoko is not a great machine. I mean, it's enough though. Yep, Mike Bergman, you are 100% correct. Clipboard Warriors. No, yeah. No, I have no ill will towards anybody. I think he's a great thing to have in the community, especially this hobby that needs less bro science and more like numbers and facts. Yeah, red tape. I'm using air quotes for red tape. Yeah, Nick. Good DIY CNC works great. I haven't tried cutting any metallics like aluminum or anything with my Shapeoko. It's mostly just been woods of sorts and carbon fiber. That's all I've been cutting. Finding like decent carbon fiber plate that's not ridiculously expensive is tough. And there's just always so much waste. Like I have so many chunks of carbon fiber laying around because it's like you can't just max out what you can fit on a sheet. You have to like orient the part to make sense. Good for you, Nick. Did the vertical wall buckle when you turn up the speed? The vertical wall of like the cabin. Let me look. I'll be honest, this is one of the best looking Penchies I've ever printed. Oh, I see. Hang on. No, I think that's just a reflection off the panel. Or like it's the little edge of the portal window because it does kind of stick out from the back a little bit. Right here. I think this is what you're seeing. Is that little bit right here. So it actually has that much freaking detail to it. So we are right about here. Octoprint does have a preview, so we can see where we're at. I think the reds are retracts or possibly hops. Yeah, I've always seen good results, but I've also heard of people having weird like Z banding issues. Only thing I had to adjust was like mechanically was adjust the E stops. That's not really mechanically, that's or the E step, since it's kind of just par for the course with any printer. Dogs go in, dogs go out. Dogs go in, dogs go out. Dogs go in, dogs go out. Where are the strings? I thought those were NDSDL. Yeah. They don't need to be. That's as much as I can zoom it in. OBS won't let me go any farther than that. Maybe it will. There we go. I'm sure it looks like complete ass. Let's see. Who thinks that the smokestack's gonna actually stay stuck to the part? Who thinks it's gonna come off? That's typically what happens when you print fast, is the smokestack doesn't stick. C-banding's like an issue. Yeah, most likely. It's usually a mechanical setup. Something wrong with the way it was put together. Same thing with like parts not being square. You know, it's usually a skew issue. Which there is skew compensation, which I shouldn't need it, but I never know. I think I have the noise gate on my microphone set well enough that you guys can't hear the printer, but the printer is loud. Let me see if I can turn that off. Nope. Let's see. Mic. There you go. I turned the threshold, my attenuation off. I'm sure you can hear it now. Yeah, that's it. It's loud. It is a loud printer. There are lots of stuff going on. Lots of fans. Lots of stuff going on. It's all being, yeah. Yeah, a little micro stack. Knock 2 upgrades. You know what? That might not actually be a bad idea. I think the fans are... What's the size of the fans? Let's see. Going through the list of parts here. They're good fans too. They're all maglev bearing fans. Uh, 60 by 60 by 20 fans. I don't know. Does Noctua even make a 60 by 60 by 20 fan? 60 by 60 by 20. I'm sure they do. So they got a 60 by 60 by 25. Looks like they don't make 60 by 60 by 20s. Are those 60 by 60 by 20s? 60, 60, 20, yeah. 24 volt, 60, 60, 20. Yeah, Noctua doesn't make any. I mean, I can slow them down, and I have them tied to certain functions that happen with the printer. The thing's pretty silent as it is. Like, I do not hear the steppers at all. All the noise is just fan noise. Whew, it's just burning through that last little bit. Almost done here. Layer 227 of 240. See, the original estimated print time was 1 hour and 27 minutes. This one is going to be about 1 hour and 9. It's 200% faster than what it was originally predicted to print at, or specified to print at. So I don't know what my limitations are I'm hitting here, but again, this is just first print. Lots of things we can do here. No, I'm not going to grease them. Shit sticks to the grease. I mean, I will eventually, but not now. I think that's that. I'm just looking at the same image you guys looking at. I think it looks pretty good. I don't think it's going to pop off. That's it. Hour and 9 minutes. Oh, some kits with dry blocks. You know, I didn't actually check to see if they were lubed. I assumed they were, but all right, let's see if I can peel this thing off the build plate. Nah, she's on there. I'm not gonna force it off yet. Yeah, stack looks pretty good from what I saw. I didn't look too close at it. It looks pretty good. Yeah, bed adhesion's pretty darn good. But like this thing cools off and that won't be attached to the bed at all. So a few things that are kind of missing out of this printer that I kind of wish it had, you know, things I'm just kind of used to. Things like having like power loss protection. Doesn't have that. Doesn't have filament run out detection. You can do all these things. It just don't have it. It'd be kind of nice. The texture build plate on this doesn't feel nearly as good as like the Prusa. It's just kind of weird. You get into more exotic materials. As exotic as I get is usually nylons, but you never know. It's just I got to find a reason for it or purpose for the exotic materials. But yeah, there's a few out there I'd like to try. It is a flexible plate. I could just pull it off and pop it loose. I'll do that. Just gonna give it a couple seconds to cool off. So it is still piping hot. It's down to 87 degrees. Just let it cool off on its own a little bit. Current GW, when you talk about exotic materials, what kind of materials are you referring to?
It's really just the fam and my dogs. I just gotta make a call. I ain't in all that chatting, not it dog, not it dog. Yeah, put that on the squad. We've been knocking, going hard. We on deck, please don't make them. Try your luck, test me in again. We let it rain. Please don't start it. Oh, it's hot. Black and white, they gang. Please don't start this. We don't got a thing. Tell her park it up. Then that ass be poking out them jeans. Up and sparking up. Like the fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you barking up. It's the wrong tree. I got the strings. Yeah, I'm charging up. They can't keep up. Got them looking drained. Now they walking up. Trying to put the face to the name.
All right. ASA, yeah, that's one of the ones I'd like to try printing. Well, there it is. Not too bad. ABS. First print. I think right about here is when we start upping the speed. It's a little droopy right here. Nothing crazy. Smokestack looks incredible. Oops, dropped it. The underside looks really good. So I think that's definitely a winner right there. That is just with real rough settings, like didn't tune anything. For contrast, here's the one that came off my Prusa last night. Obviously there's some cooling issues going on with this one. So there's a lot of cooling issues. It might be the different ABS. This is Overture ABS. It's nothing special. The green one's Hatchbox. That's typical where you see issues. But, you know, this isn't tuned very well either. I think I might have done 4 perimeters on this one, so it definitely was printed a little bit differently. I should probably print another one using the same settings. But it's not a bad looking benchy either. Resin printers worth getting as a noob? No. I wouldn't. I don't recommend anybody get a resin printer unless you have an actual use case for it. If you're not used to 3D printing and you want to get into it and make like miniatures, I mean, it's about the best option you have, but there's a lot of stuff you got to take into account for. Jeez, look at this. Look at the difference in the squish for the first layer between these two. For the build plates, like the textured Prusa plate has a really nice looking texture to it, but it's squished so hard that you lose all the definition on the bottom, or all the text. But I do like the textured plate on the Prusa. Well, not too shabby. I'm actually very, very happy with that. Now I just need to find a place to put the printer, and hopefully my wife doesn't see it whenever she comes home. So that'll be a whole thing. All right, folks, that's it. I'm gonna go eat lunch. It's lunch because I work nights, so this is my lunchtime. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Live stream 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Central. So like 12 hours from now. This is a bad idea. All right, guys, we'll see you around. Thanks for coming out. It's that awkward time where I'm trying to stop it, but I just can't because I don't know where the button is. Right there. Okay, bye.